What's going on, guys? I got a nice deck list for you today. Branded Chimera Horus, or Horus Chimera, whatever you want to call it. So let me get started with it. I'll do the extra deck last. Okay, sorry, all my sleeves are going to be different because I have like so many different decks built. So first off, we'll do the Chimera package. So we have 3 Codal, 3 Swords Knight, 3 Gazelle, 3 Chimera Fusions. So I'm actually going to go ahead and take you through some combos when we get done with this. So that's it for the Chimera package. Then we have 2 King Sark. We have 2 of the bricks, Dumatef and Happy. I mean, they're not terribly bricks in this deck though, because they are Beast and Wing Beast. And we also have a Spellcaster, which it's not going to really be valid for this deck, but we still have it. You have to play this one at 3. That's mandatory. Otherwise, you're just wasting it pretty much. So that's it for the Horus stuff. Very simple. And we'll get into some more stuff about it in a minute. For our branded, we're going to have 3 branded fusion. You know, this is something you want to see, but you don't have to see. So that's why we're not going to play the Aluber or the branded opening. So then we're going to do 2 Fallen of Albaz. Got to have that because you may go into branded fusion multiple times. For our hand traps, 1 Called By, or whatever you want to call that, 2 Effect Veiler. And you're like, well, why not 3? The reason for not having 3 is it just makes the deck a little too thick. Right now we're sitting at 41 cards. We'd be at 42 with 3 Veilers. And this is a card, you know, it's not necessarily a brick because it can be used to make some side deck stuff. I mean, some extra deck monsters, but, you know, anyway, it's something you want to see, but you don't necessarily have to see it all the time. We're going to play 3 Ash. Of course, 3 Fenrir. This one comes up, and when it comes up, it's great. So you kind of got to keep it in there. And then 3 Empire. And then the 2 spells really is all we're playing is 2 talents. Maybe you could put this at 3, but again, it's one of them cards that when you need it, it's great. If not, it's just a brick in the hand. So I'm going to go into some plays with some real world hands. Okay, now for the extra deck. So we have one of the new guy, Baphomet, Big Chimera. We're going to have a Zeus, Zombie Vampire, a Dark. This will come up sometimes when you're not locked into fusion. Magnum the Reliever, Mira Jade, and Albion, Lubellion. This is the main guy as far as your branded line goes. Renbrum, a Titaniclad for those troublesome matchups. Guardian Chimera for your Chimera follow-up play turn, you know, on your opponent's turn. Hand Rip, small Chimera. Photon Lord for when you don't really have any of the Chimera stuff and you kind of have to go this route. And then Dingrisu, turn 2 shenanigans. Nothing crazy here. All right, guys, this is a very realistic hand here. So what we're going to do first is we're going to try to test the Ash with the Codal. Okay? That goes through. We're going to add a Mirror Swords Knight. Okay? What we're going to do here is now we're going to activate King Sarcophagus. You know, pending that goes through. Let me fix that. We're going to summon the King Sarcophagus. And we're going to activate the King Sarcophagus, sending Happy to the graveyard. So here's what we have in hand now. Send Happy, and we will also send Mseti. Send Mseti. That's your best one, in my opinion, in the deck. As far as the Horus monsters go, because you can send one. All right, so here is what you'll do now. You're going to special. All right, so you have summoned a total of 2 times at this point. Now we're going to go into Photon Lord. most of the time, that's what you're going to do. You're going to go into Photon Lord. Alright. Now you're in Photon Lord, so you have a negate for Nib. Keep that in mind. Now, what we can do here, we can do two different things. In this particular case, since we want to build our board, I'm going to go Mirror Swords Knight, activate Mirror Swords Knight to special summon Baphomet, activate effect. We're going to go +2 here. +2 here. Now, I like to have a beast in hand. So, if you read his effect, he can add a level 4 beast monster and or 1 Chimera fusion. So, you know, this is just an example. This could be something else, but for now, this is what it is. So we're going to activate Chimera fusion, fuse these two off. We're going to fuse those two off into Little Chimera. We're just assuming this is turn 1. Okay? This is turn 1. All right, we're going to start a chain here. Chain 1. Chain 2. Chain 3. Going to special back out the Mirror Swords Knight for follow-up. And then we're going to add back to hand another Mirror Swords Knight. Or a Codal, it's up to you. It doesn't really matter here. In this particular case. So this is what our hand looks like now. We're still at 3, okay? We're at 3 cards. We're going to activate effect of Chimera Fusion in the grave to add it back to hand. So we have a couple plays here. There's a couple options here. We're not running the Anubis package in this. It is in my side deck. If we were running the Anubis package, we would fuse him off and one of these, and we would go into the other illusion monster. So we'd take him, that way he's sitting in the grave for next turn, and we would be able to drop the Anubis by the effect of Baphomet and summon it on our opponent's turn if we needed it. Or any of the other options that are there, you know. So in this case, I would probably just end on this board here. So how many summons did we do? We did, you got, let me show you. So you have 3, 4, 5, the original 6, 7. We had 7 summons there. 7 summons, but we were protected on like the 4th summon. No, the 3rd summon. We had protection. So keep that in mind. In this particular case, we would pass turn, and here's what we have. We have a monster negate. Now that we have him on the field, we have monster negation, and we have a follow-up, which I would activate this on the opponent's turn like fast, as soon as you can. Get him back in the graveyard, bring out another Baphomet, and add. You wouldn't be able to use his effect in this particular case, but you know, it's not the end of the world. You can get him back in the grave. Then you have a monster negate, and you have a target negation with Cornfield Codal. Also, you have follow-up. So let's just say our opponent fights through all that, and then they summon, I don't know, whatever you want it to be, any monster. One monster, and then maybe they set a trap. Okay, so guess what we're going to do? We are going to go into Big Chimera, Guardian Chimera. Activate Chimera Fusion. We are going to send off. If we just need to pop 1 monster, we'll send 2 from hand. If we need to pop 2 monsters, we'll send 2 from the field. So in this case, we'll just assume the monster's not really that meaningful, and we will send. So we'd have another Baphomet back on the field by this point. A big wing Baphomet. So we would send him, and the 2 in our hand. And this would start a chain here. We would summon this guy. Chain 1. And then we'd get the effect of this guy to add an illusion to hand. So we would add an illusion to hand. I would probably go for Codal here. That way we have follow-up next play. Next turn, I mean. No, I'm sorry. We fused off. We fused off that one. Okay, so we would special summon back one of the Codals. We didn't change the Baphomet. So I would probably just special summon one of the Codals back. Or you could special summon the Mirror Swords Knight back again. And that's probably what I would do in that case. Off of the Baphomet effect. And then we will destroy one of his monsters. Bam. And then we'll draw 2. Okay? We drew 2 ash. That's due to poor shuffling probably. So here's what we look like. You know. And then following up with that on the next turn, we still have 2 monster negates up. We have a target negate, another monster negate, or a follow-up play. We're out of Baphomets though. Big wing Baphomets. Oh, no we're not. We still have, because we recycled that same, well, yeah, we're out because we would normally have 2. I was just using this one for an example. So we'd activate Chimera Fusion, activate Chimera Fusion. All right, so here's your options here. If you haven't used any monster negates, you have all the Horuses still under him. Sorry, I wasn't really thinking. So this is what he would look like right there. So at this point, you could probably OTK, you know, I mean, I don't know. I would probably go into this, bring something else out. But, I mean, look at your hand. Yeah, I would activate his effect. And then I would special summon this guy from deck. And then I would go into Chimera Fusion. Chimera Fusion, probably just go into this guy. And then I would activate effect Engrave of Gazelle to add another illusion monster. Add another illusion monster. So here's what our hand looks like now. Still have the King Sarcophagus. I'd probably send off one of these ashes to get another, to get the other guy on the field. To get another one. Another Mseti probably. Depending on if we still have the monster negate. So that's what our board looks like at this particular moment. Which is crazy. Okay, so we have 2400, 2500, 2100, 3100. So it's kind of up to you what you do here. Probably the smartest play will be able to use this last Chimera Fusion. Go into him. Go into this guy. So now, I mean, you have game easy. I would enter battle phase, declare with him. Whatever that monster is, even if it has an effect, just negate it with this. But if not, you're just going to send it with the effect of King Sarcophagus. and now you're going to hit for 24, 25, 31, 33. And that's pretty much game. I mean, this is like your best case scenario here, of course, but this isn't even the only option you have here. You could go into the branded line. We didn't even talk about that, but this right here is your bread and butter play. And I mean, it's a best case scenario because most of the time you're going to have to use this. You're probably going to end up, they're going to get rid of the King Sark, and then it's just, you know, there's a lot of different things, but you still have negates and all kinds of stuff going on. But this is one of my favorite combos with this deck.